Going into this game, we knew it was going to be a tough one. Big opponent. They've grown over the years, and the upperclassmen have all seen that. But going into it off the get-go, right in the locker room, the boys were buzzing. We were slamming lockers. We were talking crap out of the locker room. That's something we haven't had in a couple years. Not since I've been here, we haven't had that. Came out onto the field buzzing. Can't ask for more. A nice rain game, nice and cold. And I think what was important was that we had a walkthrough with coach this morning, and for the portions of the game that were most important, we followed it. And it worked. We broke down a bit, but we had a lot of energy on the bench. We had a lot of guys come off the bench. And the starters, the guys that came off the bench, they played their hearts out. If someone screwed up, it went right past them. They came back and they outdid themselves on the second time. It was phenomenal. Fight's a good word because we've never had it. And I'll be straight up with that. We've never had it. But in a fight, what you always look for is someone to have your back. And this is any kind of fight. And what I've noticed about this team is that if someone gets up and starts yelling at someone on the other team, you've got people behind you. If you're on the field and you're going into a tackle, you've got people behind you. It's a mental fight and it's a physical fight out there. And this year is the first year I think that we have won both of those battles, and we are all behind each other's back, on the bench, mentally, on the field, physically. It's just unbelievable.
I mean, it definitely wasn't what we expected it to be. You know, obviously the weather changes things drastically. You know, this year we've been a much more possession-based team, and you know, the weather kind of mitigates our ability to do that. So it took us a while to find our footing in the game. We realized that what we've been accustomed to doing centrally in the middle of the field just wasn't going to be there for us tonight. We had to open up the game quite a bit, play in wider areas than we're accustomed to, wider areas probably than we're comfortable with. And you know, it just took a bit of time, but the great part about tonight was we just kept fighting. You know, things didn't really go right a lot of times, but we stayed with it. We kept fighting, and the guys just showed a ton of resiliency, which that's been the group so far this year. We've trailed more than I would like to so far this year, but for some way, somehow, we've found our way back into games. Again, it's just to win the next game. You know, and fortunately for us right now, we get to take a little break from worrying about the Northeast 10 Conference, because it is very, very difficult to worry about this conference day in and day out. But we'll turn our sights to an ECC opponent with Malloy next week. Good little homecoming for a bunch of the boys are New York based, so we'll get to go down there, enjoy some home cooking for, you know, a night, and then we'll be back at it with St. Rose on the weekend, and you know, we'll take some time to ourselves to enjoy this one with a non-conference opponent.